So let's go ahead and get started. Let's bring in a couple of the stars of the show as we are just 52 days away from NFL season, otherwise known as Patrick Willis days away. Claudia Bellofatto joining me, Alex Selesnick, otherwise known as PropStarz. Let's start. We've got a couple teams to cover. We're going to start with the Denver Broncos. Claudia, I'm going to start with you. We were talking pre-show. I think you and Alex have seen some of my content recently. I am kind of huge on this Denver Broncos team, perhaps overly exposed in the betting market, but let's just start at the quarterback position. Sean Payton, Bo Nix. Claudia, do you see Bo Nix making a year two jump?
He had a great rookie year, and a sophomore slump is always possible, but I don't see how he wouldn't improve, Sia. You have the continuity, as you said, of a head coach. They brought in more weapons. They're doing what a team should do to maximize the window they have with him. You look at what he did down the stretch. He was on a 45 touchdown pace over the final 8 games, just outside top 10 in yards for the season, top 10 in EPA. And the way he played, he got the ball out quick. He was accurate underneath. I know the deep ball and the accuracy there was a bit of an issue, but we saw improvement there as the season went on. I think we'll see more of that, better decision-making, more of him extending plays with his legs. And for that reason, yes, I do think we'll see him improve. You also have to consider, guys, the continuity of the protection. They brought back all 5 of their starting offensive linemen after they led the NFL last season in pass blocking efficiency rating. So I think that's huge for Bo Nix. I don't know how big of a leap we will see, but I do think we'll see improvements for him.
PropStarz, I think Claudia just hit the nail on the head. We got a good offensive line, but you look at what Bo Nix did down the stretch. First of all, he's getting the ball out fast, too. It's not a great wide receiver core. They did add, though, a tight end. Your thoughts on Bo Nix in a second-year jump?
Yeah, I thought Claudia hit the nail on the head regarding Bo Nix. He had a fantastic rookie season, but certainly I think there'll be areas of improvement around him. I think having a more reliable ground game. I love the R.J. Harvey draft pick. You also add J.K. Dobbins. They really lacked a true 3-down running back or really any production consistent in the backfield last season. I think also adding this safety blanket, the aforementioned Evan Ingram was a tremendous addition to this Denver offense. So year 2 in Sean Payton's offense with a more consistent ground game and a safety blanket. I think the arrow is pointing up for Bo Nix and the whole team.
Great call on the Evan Ingram safety blanket. All right, well, if that's the case, let's get to the betting number as it relates to Bo Nix's touchdowns, which is standing at 24.5. Last year, he hit for 29 touchdowns, and Alex, Claudia mentioned that down the stretch, we saw an improvement from a touchdown standpoint, touchdown to interception ratio, completion percentage, all of those things. Bo Nix was improving. Do we like the over 24.5 here?
I do like the over here. I'm not going to rush out to bet it, and just because of the success last year doesn't necessarily mean we'll see another high touchdown total, but I do think because of Denver's team, they have a tremendous defense, which we're going to touch on more, and I think their ground game is going to improve quite a bit. I don't know how much additional passing attempts Bo Nix may have, but I think from an efficiency standpoint, we're going to see some improvements. As far as the touchdown number, touchdowns are a bit fluky. If he gets in 16 or 17 games, I'd be shocked if he doesn't average about a touchdown and a half, which is what it would require to eclipse this number. So I'd go over on it. I think the number's fairly efficient. Definitely no business taking the under here, though.
Claudia, I lean over. How about you?
I'll take the over. You guys can lean, you can think about it, but I will take it because they were one of the most efficient offenses in the red zone last season. He was one of the most reliable quarterbacks as a rookie, too. The way he played when it mattered was wildly impressive. 29 qualified passers. Out of them, he ranked 7th in touchdown rate. That was ahead of Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Interception rate, just 2.4% in the red zone. That was one of the best. And we've talked about the weapons. You talked about the safety blanket and Evan Ingram. Now they have some depth in the backfield to spread out that defense. I don't see why he wouldn't have the same success that he had last year. So I'll definitely take the over.
Yeah, and I think when we're talking about sophomore slumps, which I think we kind of overuse sometimes, we have to understand the protection that Sean Payton offers Bo Nix. And we saw some of that protection or some of that improvement courtesy of Sean Payton late in the season. So, yeah, I'm going to lean over here as well. let's talk about the Broncos as a whole. I mean, we look at this AFC West, a very tough division. You can make the argument that every single team in this division has improved, and if in Kansas City's case, maybe stayed the same, which means they're still a great team. Now, we look at the Chiefs to win. They're minus 120. Then we got the Chargers at plus 300 and the Broncos close behind at plus 350. Claudia, how do you feel about this plus 350 number? Are we chasing this, or is it just the Chiefs to win?
I put them slightly ahead of the Chargers, so I'll take that 50 cents difference. It's going to be tough to take down the Chiefs considering they're on a historic streak, being the champs for 9 seasons. But I do think that this year is as good as any to break that, because you finally have a good quarterback and a good coach for all 4 teams, and then 3 great defenses. Sorry, Raiders. I don't see them, though, finishing any worse than first or second. They just need to hope that the Chiefs forget how to win tight games. We have to remember they were 12-0, undefeated in one-score games, but they were close. That being said, Mahomes' numbers were down. There was a lot left to be desired on offense. That O-line, as we know, got majorly exposed in the Super Bowl, and that still remains a big question. I know it's Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but I do think the Chiefs have some holes on that offense and defense, and I don't think you can count the Chargers out, especially with Jim Harbaugh now, with their and Justin Herbert. They had a top 10 defense, but despite their weapons, their offense still has a lot to be desired. So I would put the Broncos ahead of the Chargers slightly, and I do think there's a chance they can actually unthrone the Chiefs, but a lot would have to go right for them and a lot would have to go wrong for the Chiefs.
PropStarz, I like the 350. I just don't like it enough to bet it. Your thoughts?
I would agree. I thought Claudia made a great point. I like this Denver team more than the Chargers. I put them ahead of them as well. I do think Kansas City is going to be very good this season, but Denver's defense, they had a tremendous offseason. You add Dre Greenlaw, Hufanga, the safety, also Jahdae Barron, the corner, out of, just a tremendous addition out of Texas on this team that was already a top 10 defense with the reigning defensive player of the year. So this defense could be the best defense in the NFL this season. You pair that with a Bo Nix and an improved offense. So I think Denver is formidable. They're in an incredibly tough division in the AFC. So that's working against them. But I think at the number of 350, it does provide some good value.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, let's go to win totals. This is a bet that I've actually already made at minus 105. It's minus 110 now, which makes sense that it's moved a little bit. The win total's 9.5 for the Denver Broncos. Which way do you lean? PropStarz, I'm going to start with you.
Certainly lean over. In a 17-game season, I definitely think this is a 10-win football team. Difficult schedule, obviously, playing in the AFC West. Bo Nix, coupled with that defense, I think 10 wins is, if you look at the potential range of outcomes, certainly well within a lot of scenarios where they finish with 10 wins. So I'm going over.
Yeah, and Claudia, if memory serves, I might be getting this wrong, but I think they're out of division. They're out of division games are in the NFC East, and I believe the AFC South. So there's some leeway there with some, I guess, easier teams. But what do you like? 9.5 over or under?
Yes, and I think you're right on the schedule-wise. The market has certainly adjusted. We have to look back to last season when their preseason win total was just 5.5. So remember, the market has adjusted here, but still, I do lean over. Alex hit on all of the defensive additions. That is key, especially in a tough division that they have in those tight games. Defense makes the difference. And we also have to consider what their defense did last year. They finished 9-2 in games where they allowed under 20 points. They were just 1-5 otherwise. So now you bring back that defense, you improve it, you have an improved offense. I don't see how they wouldn't get to 10 wins. And at minus 110, I'll take it now because I do think that could get juiced down the road with a softer schedule.
100%. I mean, I think this is a classic case of a team. We always talk about how you should build a team, right? Alex, your Philadelphia Eagles. Claudia, historically, I would say your New England Patriots, although they had Tom Brady, so it's a little different. But we always want to build inside out, right? And that's what the Denver Broncos are doing. We see the perimeter guys, there's not an elite receiver core, right? But we see an offensive line that's great, a defensive line that's great. And you mentioned it on the back end in particular, Alex, that adding Jahdae Barron in the draft and Hufanga, like these are like household name players. Like this could be the best defense in the league. Sean Payton, Bo Nix in his second year. I'm all over the over here. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and I think they could get far in the playoffs.